dance with me. Move your feet and feel it in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment, let your body be. Downtown we let it go, sunset high and our body low. Blood rush in the haze.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and as you can see by the name of the title, we're going to be talking about cosmetology school and everything you need to know about it. So as you guys know, I am a licensed cosmetologist. I started my cosmetology program when I was in the 11th grade. I was lucky enough that my high school had a program in high school where like I would go to my normal school in the morning time. So I would take like English, math, science, and I think I took Spanish my last year. But like I would do that in the morning, and then after lunch I would go to my technical school. So they had a bus that took us to our technical school, and there they had like cosmetology, culinary, automotive, audio, video, graphic design. They had all these different, classes that you could take. But of course, I took cosmetology. And for this program, you actually had to be in the 11th grade. It was the 11th and 12th grade program because they had Cosmo 1 and Cosmo 2. Of course, Cosmo 1 was for the 11th graders. Cosmo 2 was for the 12th graders. Once you, transfer, once you finish Cosmo 1 in the 11th grade, you went over to Cosmo 2. So that's how it worked. And I was able, by the time I finished cosmetology school in high school, or by the time I graduated high school, I graduated with 720 hours towards my cosmetology license. So whenever I decided what school I wanted to go to, I already had those hours, so they just transferred over. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is what is cosmetology school. So in cosmetology school, you're going to be learning all about hair, nails, and skin. Those three things. Now, whenever you're thinking about going to cosmetology school, you have to consider, do you want to do hair, nails, and skin, or do you just want to do nails? I know this channel is specifically for nails. So the reason why I did the whole cosmetology program was because, like I said, my high school program was a cosmetology program. So whenever I went to college to finish off my program or my hours, they were like, if you decide that you only want to do the nail program, your hours won't transfer over. They'll transfer for cosmetology, but they won't transfer for the nail program. And I'm like, well, I'm already, halfway finished, so I might as well just go ahead and get my whole cosmetology license. And then I also knew that I wanted to be an instructor, so I had to have my cosmetology license. But again, first thing that you have to do is choose whether you want, or decide whether you want to do the whole cosmetology program or just nails or just aesthetics, because there's three different: cosmetology, nail care, and aesthetics. Here in Arkansas, our cosmetology program is 1,500 hours, and I believe that aesthetics, and I know nails is 600 hours, but I'm not sure if aesthetics is 600 hours as well, but I'm pretty sure it is. But every state has different hours that they require that you have to actually clock. So cosmetology is not like being a chef. Like sometimes, with being a chef, you can work your way up from, different stages. You don't necessarily have to go to school for it. You might in some places, but, not everywhere. But with cosmetology, there's no way around it. Like, you have to go to school for it. If you want to work in a shop, if you want to work on anybody else, you have to get a license. And the only way to get a license is to go to school, and you have to clock those hours. For me, I had to clock 1,500 hours. Like, I was in school 1,500 hours. Like, that is a lot. So that's something that you have to consider. It's better to just go ahead and get it over with, right after high school. So if you decide that you want to do something else, you would already have that cosmetology license, so you can use it while you're doing something else. Like, I have friends that they wanted to do nursing, but they were in cosmetology, so they went ahead and finished their cosmetology first. That way they could be making money while they were in nursing school, which is a really smart, thing to do, because again, you already have that certification and you can be using it while you're doing something else. So again, the first thing would be to decide which route you want to go. A lot of the time it's smarter to just go ahead and do your cosmetology license, only because like for me it was like maybe one day I'll want to do hair, or maybe one day I'll want to do makeup. So instead of me having to go back to school, when I decide to, I'll already have that certification. I might just have to go do some refreshers, some continuing education to refresh those skills, but I'm already licensed to do all those stuff, or all those things, sorry. Okay, so the next thing about cosmetology school is, you're probably wondering like what you're going to be doing when you're actually in cosmetology school. So a lot of the time what they focus on at the very beginning is just the main thing about cosmetology, which would be sanitation and disinfection, learning your tools, anatomy and physiology. Is that how you say it? Anatomy and physiology, whatever. So those are actually the first chapters of the book. So this is the book that I used in cosmetology school, and I'm going to show you that those are literally the first chapters in your book. So number 1 is professional development, and that includes body and mind, healthy body and mind, and this the rest, relaxation, exercise, nutrition, hygiene, image, and ergonomics. So these are the first things that you're going to be learning whenever you first start cosmetology school. After that, you're going to learn about communication, because that is key in this industry. You have to learn how to communicate with other people, because if you don't, then most likely you're not going to have clients because you don't know how to communicate. And also that helps with, bringing in more clients. Other things are personality, teamwork, and ethics. When working in the shop, you're working with other people, you're going to get attitudes, you're going to have different personalities. So you have to learn how to work with other people. So in the first chapter, that's everything that you're going to learn. Again, that is, though the name of the chapter is professional development. So that's chapter 1. Chapter 2 is salon ergonomics, and that's bacteria, growth of bacteria, virus, external parasites, infections, immunity. That is chapter 2. And again, these are some of the first things that you have to learn before you even get into hair cutting. Why? Because you have to learn about, what bacteria, what infections or viruses you can contract through, hair cutting, or through doing somebody's nails. Like, this is some of the things that you have to know first. Other things are sanitation, disinfection, sterilization. Again, these are some really, really important things that you have to know, as far as, knowing how to sanitize, disinfect, and sterilize your hair tools, your nail tools, your makeup tools, all those stuff. So another thing is first aid. That is knowing, how to treat somebody when you cut them, when you burn them. When something happens, you have to know what to do. So that's still chapter 2. And then chapter 3 is anatomy and physiology, which is the cells, the tissue, organs, body systems, the skeletal system, muscular, circulatory system, nervous, digestive, excretory, respiratory, endocrine, reproductive, and integumentary. And these are, like, it sounds so boring, but whenever we did it, like, everything just kind of, breezed by. Like, you have to know what they are. And then whenever they give you, I'm pretty sure I still have a copy of a test, but whenever you learn it, it's not as bad. Like skeletal, those are the bones. Muscular, those are your muscles. Nervous system, digestive, it's kind of, especially if you're older, or not even just necessarily have to be older, but fresh out of school, you took a science class, you know what those things are. You just have to kind of get a little refresher. Chapter 4 is electricity. You have to know about electricity to know, you have to plug stuff in, so you have to know stuff about the watts, the safety about it, electrotherapy, light therapy, and that comes with aesthetics. A lot of the lights that they use or tools, I'm not really sure about all that stuff, but these are some of the things that you have to know. Chapter 5 is chemistry, which is matter, elements, chemical bonds, the pH scale, shampoo, rinsing, perms. And the reason why this chapter is important as well is because you're using chemicals on somebody's hair. You have to know how much of what to put in, because if not, you can burn somebody's hair off. Same thing with nails. You're using your liquid and your powder. So you have to know about all these things. And then salon business, which is basically the beauty industry, about salons. And is that right? Oh, sorry, I skipped the page. Basically, it's like salon business is basically getting you ready for the real world or for the workforce, which they teach you about your resume, job interviews, evaluating the salon, networking, building a clientele, and that's chapter 6. And then after that, that's when you start getting into the hair service, which is they have like the hair growth, the foundation, hair color. What else? Common scalp conditions, common hair conditions. They have shampooing, draping. And again, these are some of the things that you have to know at first. You have to know how to drape somebody to be able to do their haircut. You have to know how to drape somebody to do a chemical service. So these are some really important things. After that, you learn chapter 8 is design decision, which is basically the proportion of hair, personality, clothing, style. Is that what that is? That's what it says. It says design, decision, considerations. Oh, okay. I know what this is. So basically, chapter 8 basically helps you determine, what is best for a client. Basically, like the reason why it's saying hair, personality, clothing, lifestyle is because if you have a client come in for a haircut and she wants long straight hair or something, and it's really, really long, but she works in maybe, say, I don't know, like a factory somewhere where they have a lot of machines, and she want to wear her hair long and straight all the time and down. Well, she has to take into consideration that, for safety matters, she should recommend maybe going a little bit shorter, just maybe her hair could get stuck in the machine. Or say, for example, you have a African American client and she wants her hair, they call it a silk press, but later on that day she's going to the gym. So it's kind of like you have to take into consideration, like, do you really want this silk press? Because once you go work out, it's going to sweat it out and it's going to get back curly, or not necessarily all the way curly, but it is going to mess up that silk press. So these are some of the things that you have to know as well, to be able to consult with your client and let them know your professional opinion on what they want. After that, that's when you get into the actual hair cutting, as far as, different styles, the form, essentials, fundamentals. There's some more infection control and safety, client consultation, and then they have the increased layer haircut, graduate form haircut, uniformly haircut, frontline haircut, fade, and then that's when all the fun stuff come in. Not so much fun for me because I didn't really care about hair, but after that, I'm just going to name the chapters now. After that, you have hairstyling, wigs and hair addition, chemical texture, hair coloring, the study of nails. This is my part. This is what I like. So whenever it comes to nails, in cosmetology school, I feel like they mainly focus on the hair part. Whenever I did it, it was literally, they had a 2-day session, and I think I taught it. I taught my class the nail part of it. So for the nail part, it's literally not long at all. It's literally 2 chapters for nails. As you can see, there was literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chapters for hair, and I'll show you how long they are. So like all of this, all of that, and all of this, and all of this, and all of that is hair, and then this and this is nails. So you're not gonna learn a lot of nails in cosmetology. Like, they're supposed to teach it, but it's not a really big section in the book, which is why they focus more on hair. But in the nail section, you're going to learn about the study of nails, nail theory, nail structure, growth, nail diseases and disorders and conditions, nail shapes, nail essentials, infection control and safety, client consultation, basic manicures, male manicures, pedicures, basic pedicures, acrylic nail essentials, infection control, nail tips with acrylic overlay, pink and white sculpture nails, additional artificial nail services, and then the study of skin. So actually we only have one chapter on nails. I thought that was two. I didn't read it, but we have one chapter on nails and one chapter on skin. So the last chapter, which is chapter 15, is the study of skin, which is basically facials, the skin theory, types of skin disease and disorders, hair removal, makeup, skincare, and that's it. So there's literally only a chapter for nails and a chapter for skin. But let me see, I have a lot of notes in here actually. Let's see, so here are some of my, okay, here's the syllabus that I got. So this is literally from 2016. Let's see, our attendance policy, like for our school, like you had to come. Like if you don't come, you don't get your hours. We were clocking 8 hours a day, so we were there, or was it 10? I think it was 8 hours, but we were getting, whenever you're in cosmetology school, I don't know how all schools work, but for my school, we were doing 30 hours a week. It seems a lot because it is, but for me, we had to go Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. and that was the only time they had cosmetology. You couldn't go in the morning. It was just 3 to 9 Monday through Friday. And now I know they got more teachers, so they have like a morning class, and then they have an afternoon class and a night class. But when I was there, it was only one schedule, and we had no choice but to do it. So what is this? Okay, this is actually something different. This is a syllabus for computer concepts. Let's see. I have some stuff about Skills USA. I think I've talked about that with y'all. Yeah, this is all about skills. Okay, so here are some notes that I have. And basically, we had to do a lot of definitions. And that's what a lot of our tests consisted of. All of these are, dang, this is a lot of, I have a lot of definitions. Like, it's literally, for, I guess, this chapter, I have 133 definitions. What else do I have? A study guide for skills. This is actually our National Cosmetology Practice Examination guidelines. So this is what they give you whenever you go take your test. Basically, it tells you like what you're going to be tested on, and this is for your state board. So this is something that you have to, you know, take into consideration. But other than this book, hold on, I'm trying to fix this thing. Other than this, so this is the big book. This is your textbook, or this is the one that we used. So we also have a study guide book, and basically, you know, once you read each chapter, there's going to be a section in here for you to do, and it's so simple. So like right here, it just says salon ownership, and you literally just have to like read the book and then have this on the side and just fill in the blanks, because this is the same thing that's in the book. So simple, like so simple. We really didn't do much in here, to be honest, because there's not, okay, here's some. So like, see on this page, it's literally like we had to write the definition. It says broken hair, also known as a braided hair, and then the cause and treatment, which is excessive stretching or traction, excessive chemical processing, sun exposure, chlorine, not brushing. I don't know what I was saying. And then the treatment would be to cut the dead ends and enforce with conditioner. So really simple. Again, we just had to write basically a definition, what that was also known as, and then a cause and treatment. Same thing for the bottom. We had to do, was this disorders and diseases. We had to write the chemical term, description, and a treatment. And again, all of this comes from the textbook. So easy, I promise. Like, we never had, I don't think that we ever had homework. Like, we had to study for tests, but it was so freaking easy, like so easy. Let's see, I also have my binder. Let's see. Yeah, this is so freaking old. Let me see. And I wanted to keep, I don't know why I like keeping stuff like this, but basically, okay, here we go. We had a little, if I can open it, we had a schedule for each month. So like here we go. We had a schedule for each month. So like I would write my hours at the very top if you can see it. So 54 hours in January because we were out for the holidays, I guess. Yeah, we were out for the holidays. So that month I only got 54 hours. Now, that's another thing about choosing your school. Do you want a school like Paul Mitchell? Do you want a school like, I'm not sure if the professional, what is it called? Like here in Arkansas, we have like Paul Mitchell. We have the Arkansas Beauty College, the Salon Professional, Arthur's, Pulaski Tech. Now, I went to Pulaski Tech. Pulaski Tech is a 2-year, actually, no, now it's a 4-year college. But at the time when I went, it was a 2-year technical college, which means that we were out like when the high school kids are out. We were on that actual like college schedule. So like we were out for the holidays, you know, like we were out like 2 weeks for Christmas. We were out 1 week for Thanksgivings. Now, other colleges like Paul Mitchell, you might be out the day before, the day after, the day of, but you're not going to be out for weeks like we were. It might be bad for you because you might be, you know, ready to be done. Like you might just want to go get it over with and just be done. But for me, I didn't care so much because I went into cosmetology or finished off cosmetology right after high school. So I was kind of still on that high school mindset where I wanted to be out for the holidays, which if I had to do it now, I would still want to be out for the holidays because I just cannot do that. So, so as you can see, we had, let's see like March 2016, I had a final exam for trichology. We had notebook checks with basically, like once we did work in the study guide, they would go through and check it to see if we did it. So they would give us a date on when we're going to have a kit check, or not kit check, but book check. I had a final exam on hair cutting. So it was really easy. Another thing was that on Mondays and Tuesday we had theory, which means that we were in the classroom doing book work. So like one day we would introduce a new chapter. So like say Monday we would start hair cutting chapter and we would, you know, read through it, do the work in the workbook. If we didn't finish, that's what we had to go home and do for homework. But most of the time we finished that in class. And then Tuesday, we kind of reviewed it again. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we had client day, which means that we were out in the salon actually working on clients. And then that following Monday, we would test on that chapter, which would be hair cutting. We'd have a test. And then Tuesday, we would start on another chapter. And that's kind of how it worked. So it was, y'all, it was so freaking simple, so easy. And, but again, you have to take into consideration that all schools are different. This is my experience, but all schools are different. But I'm pretty sure that all of them are pretty simple. Let's see. Here is a copy of one of my tests. So this was what is this? Or actually, this is a study guide. And this is for salon ecology. So I got a 47 out of 50. And y'all, it's so free. Like, let's see. Question number 2. What level of infection control is the most effective in destroying all microbites? Sterilization. What type of bacteria can be harmful and cause infections and disease? Pathogenic. I know it's pathogenic because non-pathogenic means it's not harmful. Microbites, I know it's not microbites. Saprophytes, I know it's not saprophytes, so it has to be pathogenic. So it's so simple, y'all. Like, you literally just have to like read the book and you're good. And then at the end of each month, let's see. At the end of each month, they would give us like a time card. And basically it shows like your time. I don't know what that is, but it shows your time that you clocked in and clocked out. So on August 17th of 2015, I clocked in at 2:10. And then, is that right? And then I left. Okay, because we had a lunch break, which was 10 minutes. So I clocked in at 3. I clocked in at 2:10. And then I clocked back in at 5:30. and then I clocked back out at 9:20. Okay, so I forgot we didn't get out of school till 9:30 actually. Not 9. It was 3 to 9:30. But we used to leave at 9:20. But yeah, so like they'll give us a time clock and then it would tell us our hours like at the bottom somewhere. Yeah, and then we used to get these every month. So yeah, let me get back on track because I'm kind of just like all over the place. But I wanted to show you like the real deal of what I actually had to do. Let's see. Okay, so again, we talked about, what you're going to be learning in cosmetology school. Again, this is different for, if you just go to nail school. It's going to be a lot different because everything's going to be strictly nails. But again, this is a decision that you have to make at the very beginning. Now, the next thing would be, like, how long is cosmetology school? Again, every state is different. Our state requires 1,500 hours for cosmetology and 600 hours for nail care. Now, it's also going to depend on what school you go to. There's schools that you can do the program in 9 months, 10 months, 12 months. But a school like mine, I think it takes like 2 years to finish because it's an actual college and you go by semesters. So that's something else that you have to take into consideration. Do you want to go to a school where you finish in a couple of months? Or do you want to go into a school that's an actual college that goes by semesters and have a lot more scholarship opportunities? As you guys know, with me going to Skills USA, which is a nail competition through my high school, I was able to get a scholarship which paid for all of my cosmetology, which I didn't have to, pay out of pocket. And I actually have I found this the other day, but it is, I don't even know what it's called, but it's basically my schedule that I had. So hold on. Okay, so as you can see, like my first semester I took hairstyling, chemical texturizing, hair coloring, cosmetology lab, prep for licensure, and tech communication. And this kind of didn't really mean anything, I don't think so, but those are some of the things that, I guess they did, but these are some of the things that we kind of just went through the book. We kind of go through the book and not by this. But for those classes, or for the first semester, the total was $3,195. Here is that. And that includes in-state tuition for fall, special course fees, graduation support, general student fee, property maintenance fee, cosmetology. They have fees for everything. But the total came out to $3,195. And that was for my first semester. Again, I didn't have to pay for this. They just sent me this because it had my scholarship information at the bottom. But again, you have to take into consideration like how much do you want to spend, because a lot of schools are different. Like Palm Mitchell, that's probably the most expensive school right now. I'm hearing that it's close to, if not $20,000. So if I was paying, let me see, so I'll probably pay they probably pay like $6,000 for my cosmetology school. Again, I only had to do half of it because I already had half of my hours from my high school. So that's something that you have to think about too. Will you have money to pay for it? Are you going to pay out of pocket? Are you going to apply for financial aid? Do they accept financial aid? These are some of the things that you have to find out. And then as far as picking a school, as far as that, it just depends on what you want. Do you want something that's close to your house? Do you want something that's affordable? Do you want something that's really known like Paul Mitchell? Do you want something that you're going to be able to do like go ahead and get your associates with it? Because with mine, the advantage that I had with mine was that once I finished my cosmetology program, I still had 2 semesters left on my scholarship. And they were like, hey, like, do you want to do something else? And I was like, no, like, I really don't. So I ended up getting my associates in like general technology, whatever that is, but it was free as well. And that's really good because like you don't have to get your associates with your cosmetologist at this college, but you can. And that's a really good advantage because I feel like, say whenever I start applying for jobs as an instructor, I don't know that I will, but say that I do. And there's Sally that all she has is a cosmetology license and her instructor's license. But Natalie, who's her? But Natalie, she has her cosmetology license, her instructor's license, and her associate's. So, like, a lot of the time it's not really about what experience you have, it's more about like what education you have. So I would highly recommend that, if you are deciding on a school, that you go more towards like what would benefit you in the long run, and not something that's just gonna, time wise, I guess, something that's gonna just be done with really fast. But again, it just depends on your lifestyle. If you have kids, maybe you were not able to be in school for a really long time and you just want to get it out the way. But if you are, a little bit younger, maybe fresh out of school, I would recommend that you go on the like actual college side of it, so you can, get some additional education as well. Let me see what else I have. And then another thing about choosing your school would be, like, again, the cost, the distance from your house. That way you're not having to drive really far. Graduation rates, is your kit included or is that extra? Because at my school, the kit, our cosmetology kit, like our supplies were included in our tuition, but we didn't get to keep it, which I wouldn't care to keep all that stuff. But I know like Paul Mitchell, I think they charge you extra for your kit, but you do get to keep it. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Alrighty, so the requirements to be able to apply for a cosmetology school are: you have to be 16 years old, you must have graduated from high school or have an equivalent diploma or degree, unless you're in a program that offer that's off unless you're in a program offered by your high school. Like I mentioned before, like me, in my high school we had a cosmetology program, so you can apply there while you're still in high school. But if you are out of school, you have to be 16 years old, you have to have a high school diploma or a GED. Another thing would be, they're going to require some information from you. It might just be your driver's license, just as proof, and again your high school diploma. Something else would be maybe, let's see, they might require some type of letter of recommendation. Again, every school is different. For my school, you just had to go apply online, like a regular college. You just put in your application, and then you meet with your advisor, and then she do the rest. For other schools, for other like private schools like Paul Mitchell, the Salon Professional, others, you might have to just go up to the school, and talk to them about it and see what the requirement, or not what the requirement, but the process for the application is. Alrighty, so again, I was kind of just like all over the place, but these are some of the most important things that you would have to know about school. Again, it's really easy. You just have to find a way to pay for it, whether it's scholarships, whether it's out of pocket, financial aid, whatever. You have to find a way to pay for it. First you have to choose whether you want to do cosmetology, nails, or aesthetics. After that, you have to just find a way, of paying for it, whether it's financial aid, scholarships, out of pocket. After that, you just have to, apply for the school, maybe visit the school, do a tour, maybe visit even like different schools to see which one's more convenient for you. After that, you're just gonna start school and be there for like 1,500 hours. But I promise you, it's not hard at all. You literally just go. I think the hardest thing about it is being there for so long. It's literally like a full-time job. Like, you're there 40 hours a week. Again, some states might require less hours. Some states might require more hours, which I just think is ridiculous. But everywhere is different, so you just have to kind of not locate, but do your research and see what your state requires. But once you do that, you graduate and you start working. But again, you do have to have a license to work on other people. It's not something that you can kind of just get away with. You do have to have a license to work in a salon. You have to have a license to work on other people, and the only way to do that is to go to school. So I hope this was helpful for others. Let me see if I have any other little notes. No, I think I pretty much hit everything that I wanted to. So if you still have any more questions, and again, I know that I was kind of just like rambling all over the place, but I really do hope that this was helpful to people that are out there, considering doing cosmetology. And then also another thing, it don't matter how old you are. You could be fresh out of high school, you can be a grandma, you could be a mom, like it doesn't matter. You can start school, anytime. It's never too late. So I would say just go for it. If this is something that you really enjoy doing, something that you're serious and passionate about, I would say just go for it. Go ahead and go to school for it. And it's really simple. I promise it's not a lot to it. You just have to be dedicated. For me, I was, really into nails, so I kind of just did nails all the time. And my teachers kind of knew that, like, I would do the hair part, but I would focus more on the nails. So again, it's just whatever you want to do. There are a lot of options, even, with you being in different states. There's a lot more schools in big states. So there's definitely a lot out there, and I feel like this industry is not going anywhere. Like, everybody needs their hair done, everybody needs their makeup done, everybody needs their nails done, and it's just something that's always going to be here. And you could probably say, like, well, it's already a lot of cosmetologists, it's already a lot of salons. Okay, look at all these nail polish brands, and they're all doing good, they're all selling, they're all making money. So what's the difference? Just like, I don't know, like bread. Look at all these different brands of bread at the store. They're all getting bought out. Like, there's not a difference between you and them. I don't know. I just kind of made that up. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. Again, if I didn't answer any questions, just feel free to comment down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at GetNail32. And I'll see you guys later.